Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Dia and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we have my 2024 Game Awards votes. Now, I do have a lot of these votes done. I see at the top right, I have 24 of the 29 votes done. And the reason being is I voted early, and so not all the votes were out for all of the categories. Because of this, I have most of the votes already done, but I'm still going to explain why I picked them and so on and so forth. Without further ado, let's get started. So here I have my Game of the Year. There's Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor. So I didn't play Astrobot, but I saw gameplay of it, so I automatically am not going to pick that. Same thing with Final Fantasy and Metaphor, so that leaves Balatro, Black Myth, and Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. I've only played Balatro on the phone, and while it's super fun, it didn't really hit that itch for me. It's a cool game. I really don't think it deserved a nomination. And Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, I don't care how big of a scale it is, it's Game of the Year, not DLC of the Year. And literally just for that reason, Black Myth Wukong. I could go also in depth on how I think Black Myth Wukong is actually better than Shadow of the Erdtree, but I'm gonna get into that later. Next one, we have Best Game Direction. It's gonna be the exact same games. And again, I also picked Black Myth Wukong. For someone who has only finished their first Souls-like this year, I really felt as if Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, you had to do a lot of research and a lot of extra reading in per se to understand Shadow of the Erdtree, to understand the true story behind it. Whereas with Black Myth Wukong, it's a standalone story on its own, and it more or less tells you everything. Yes, it's very dumbed down and it's missing some elements from Journey to the West that are, I would consider, essential, but it still tells you the basic idea and what is truly going on in the game. Genuinely, when I say this, Black Myth Wukong sits in my top 3, if not the best game I've ever played. This is one of those once in a decade games in my opinion. Just truly, the game direction, the audio, everything, this game was 10 out of 10. So for that reason, it's gonna get my best game direction of the year. Next, we have Best Narrative. Now, I remember picking Metaphor, but I might change my vote to Silent Hill 2 after a bit of time, and here's why. Because I didn't play any of these games. I only watched them from a standalone perspective, and while I can really appreciate the fact that Metaphor may have a fantastic story, that Final Fantasy has an amazing story, Like a Dragon, Senua's Saga, they all have great stories, Silent Hill 2 is the only story I actually personally bothered to start paying attention to. If I had paid attention to the other ones, would I have been sucked in? I'm convinced I would be sucked into these games really, really hard. Any single one of these. However, Silent Hill 2 is the first one I chose and the only one I got time to. And for that reason, Silent Hill 2 is going to get my vote. On top of it, telling just a wonderful story and it really just actually scaring the shit out of me and making me kind of want to stay away from it in a way. Next, we have Best Art Direction. We have Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Metaphor, and Neva. So I haven't even heard of Neva, and I haven't played Astrobot or Metaphor, so those three are instantly off the vote for me. Black Myth Wukong and Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. Again, I was blown away at how good Black Myth Wukong can look and at least run stably on my machine. I was very surprised. Now, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree might have just not made the vote for me, and that could be just because I've already seen Elden Ring, so it didn't do anything for me new this year that kind of blew me away. I kind of knew what I was getting into. I knew what I was expecting. The game still looks fucking crazy. This is one of the categories where I genuinely, I could not decide. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree was just phenomenal, and I'm gonna be honest, again, I just go for Black Myth Wukong for that edge of this game blew me away. I was in shock at how well it looked and how well it played, and with how amazing it seemed to go in terms of graphical design. And it also has the meditation spots where it shows off all of its, I guess, arts, for lack of a better term, considering that is the category. It just showed off how well all the scenery looks and how hard that everyone as a community has tried within game science, and they do not get enough praise. Next, we have Best Score and Music. We have Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor, Silent Hill 2, and Stellar Blade. I've only seen gameplay of all of these, but I can definitely tell from the music. Final Fantasy blows me away every single time. It genuinely just, the epics that it creates, the emotions it makes you feel. To me, that did better than all of these games. Silent Hill 2 is a game that I think could have given this category from my personal experience, and that's just because I think it takes more than just the way a game looks and the way a game is told to make you feel the way it made me feel. It really did set this creepy factor in for me. All 5 of these games are games I want to play. However, I don't have enough, I haven't watched enough. I probably watched one 10-minute video on Astrobot. I've watched probably 2 or 3 minutes on Stellar Blade, and plus a couple videos. And then Metaphor, I've seen literal Instagram reels of, and there's like 10 to 20 seconds. So I can't give my vote to those just based on what I've seen and heard. But Final Fantasy, I've seen so much gameplay on, and yes, Final Fantasy has got fantastic music without a doubt. Next is best audio design. We have Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Astro Bot, Final Fantasy, Senua Saga, and Silent Hill 2. I think this goes in tandem with the previous category. I think putting Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on here is actually kind of an insult to the whole category. And as much as I love Call of Duty as a genre and as a game, I really think that considering they have a pay-to-win audio feature in the game, which I've heard people use, does not really give you an advantage at all. It makes things a little better, but that's really it. The game has some serious audio issues and has some sound cues that are wrong. I think if you're gonna vote for one game in another category or in the previous category, if it's here, it also needs to be voted here because I feel like those go hand in hand. Best performance, we have Brianna White from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hannah Tell from Life is Strange Double Exposure, Humberly Gonzalez from Star Wars Outlaws, Luke Roberts from Silent Hill 2, and Melina Jurgens from Senua Saga Hellblade 2. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember the protagonist's name in Silent Hill 2. However, when he was speaking, when he was showcasing emotion, and when he was going through exploring certain areas of the map and reacting to the environment, phenomenal job. Truly a phenomenal job. I don't unfortunately know, other than Humberly Gonzalez, what the rest of the roles of these ladies were. I know Humberly Gonzalez was the protagonist in Star Wars Outlaws, but I automatically heard so many poor things about it that I didn't even bother to check it out. And I feel like that may have hurt Humberly's chances because she may deserve to win based on her performance. But if the game is shit, no one's gonna notice that and play it. Next, we have innovation and accessibility. We have Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age: The Veilguard, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and Star Wars Outlaws. Heard Star Wars Outlaws was shit. Didn't show any interest. Did not care for the slightest at Prince of Persia. Dragon Age: The Veilguard, I was really disappointed to see what people had said, and I've already played Diablo 4. But I'm gonna give my vote to Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and that being is there are multiple moments, especially in Black Ops 6, where they're showing innovation to try new things and to help people play the game that wouldn't be able to play before, like HUD changes and colorblind and so on and so forth. They had previous features already implemented that they've added onto, as well as brand new features, the most notable being the sound design as well as heads-up display. I genuinely think Call of Duty is taking a step in the right direction towards being more accessible for other people and really showcasing that they kind of want to care about all communities. So for that reason, I'm gonna give my vote to Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Now, this is a category I did not vote for because I have not played a single game here and I haven't really seen any gameplay on any of them. But this is the Games for Impact for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Close to the Distance, Indica, Neva, Life is Strange Double Exposure, Senua Saga Hellblade 2, and Tales of Kenzera Zhao. Next we have Best Ongoing. We got Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2. I only recently found out that Helldivers 2 went back to overwhelmingly positive on Steam, so maybe that's a step in the right direction. Destiny 2, I'm sorry, but the game is just stale. They don't try enough new shit for me. I feel like if you're heavily into Destiny still, the game is made for you, but it's not made for new players coming into the scene. Diablo 4, I played a bit of. I actually don't know anything of the support that's going on. And then we have Fortnite and Final Fantasy. Fortnite looks cool and they do a great job with the collabs, but Final Fantasy is fucking brilliant. Final Fantasy 14 is actually the game that got me into the Final Fantasy franchise, and it's a big reason why I want to go back and play previous Final Fantasy titles as well as the new ones. And the support that they show their community, and time and time again, the expansions they release, the updates that they provide. I've put about 3 months into Final Fantasy 14, and while I didn't get as far as I wish I had because I just didn't put enough time into it and I spent too long on like cutscenes and researching lore rather than playing the game, I can definitely tell that this game is made with love and passion, and it truly is a game that it's the MMO to play. Next, we have Best Community Support, recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches. Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. I'm gonna go ahead and give my vote to Final Fantasy 14 again for the same exact reasons that I just gave it the vote for the previous category, because they truly care about the game. They show that they care. They show that they want to make a masterpiece. They're still competing with the likes of World of Warcraft, and World of Warcraft is the biggest MMO on the planet. And you don't get that big with that popular of a game type without being the best in your category. Yes, Fortnite is the battle royale that everybody wants to play for the most part. Baldur's Gate 3 is a phenomenally, insanely amazing game. Helldivers 2, I'm sure, is brilliant to play. It's a game I actually really want to play. None of these games do their community support like Final Fantasy 14, in my opinion. opinion. And for that reason, I'm gonna go ahead and give my vote for best community sport to Final Fantasy 14. Next, you have best independent game. Now, I can actually vote for this one because I have played Balatro, and I think Balatro is actually a super fun game. I don't know anything about card games. I don't really know how to play poker or blackjack or anything like that, but the game does a fantastic job at teaching you the game while also being able to have fun with it. It provides game elements that take you away from you're not actually playing like poker or whatever it is in the game. Next, you have best indie game debut with Animal Well, Balatro, Mandalore, Pacific Drive, and The Plucky Squire. Again, gotta give my vote to Balatro. With it being the only game that I've actually played on this list, I'm confident that with my experience with Balatro, that it definitely deserves a spot on this list. The only game I've even seen close in terms of being mentioned in the same conversation as Balatro for indie games is Manolords, and I just don't hear enough about it. I just don't hear enough about any of these games, whereas everybody that I watch as well as everybody that I enjoy on social media and stuff talks about Balatro. Balatro is just a fun game, and for that reason, it gets my best debut indie game. Next, we have best mobile game. We have AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, Wuthering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero. I haven't played AFK Journey, Wuthering Waves, or Zenless Zone Zero, so I can't give those my vote. So it's really up to Balatro and the Pocket Pokemon card game, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Pokemon. And the reason being is I just like collecting the cards. I mean, Balatro is very, very fun. I kind of get reconnected in a way to back to when I was a kid with Pokemon. I really think the game is structured well, and I'm telling you this right now, any game that openly displays the odds of getting certain cards in their packs is doing way better than most people. That alongside of like, it's got a pretty solid multiplayer from what I've seen and heard, because I've watched some of my friends play it. It being openly accessible to any, if not all players, and it not costing really a dime. And for that reason, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket Edition is going to get my vote for the best mobile game of the year. Next, we have best VR and AR for the best game experience playable in a virtual augmented reality, irrespective of platform. Now, I'm going to be honest. I have not played any one of these. I didn't even know Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, and Metal Hellsinger VR were games. Until I got to this, I only knew of Metro Awakening and Batman, and I have seen literally nothing on Metro. Whereas Batman, I've seen quite a few things. I've seen a lot of people talk about it, and I've seen a bit of gameplay, and I'm really blown away at how good it looks. This is one of the games that actually is going to potentially get me to get a VR headset. That is like, just Batman is due for a really good game. I mean, we stopped with Arkham Knight, and I really want them to follow through. I am sad that Batman Arkham Shadow is a VR game. However, I hope they make a version of this that isn't VR, and you can bet your ass there are YouTube videos on it on this channel. Next, we have best action game. We got Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. This is where it gets a bit tricky for me, because I'm gonna be honest, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, and Stellar Blade do not make this category for me. I believe that Call of Duty has a lot of fixes, and I'll say whoever is in charge of the patching over Black Ops 6 needs a reality check, because they're changing the wrong shit in my opinion. Helldivers 2, that game, holy fucking shit, looks amazing. Haven't played it though. Same thing with Stellar Blade. Try to keep games I haven't played away from my votes. However, sometimes I do kind of feel like I should give them my vote regardless of being able to, you know, whether or not I've played it. And so that's why some of the categories are kind of mixed up in terms of that. But we have Black Myth Wukong, and we have Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. I'm gonna say that the story of Wukong and the way things are set up help its action, but Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 does action better as a raw element. And for that reason alone, I'm going to give it to Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. Next, we have Best Action Adventure Game. We have Astro Bot, Prince of Persia, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom is a game that I have heard people talk about, but not in terms of its story, but in terms of its puzzles. I have only seen a little bit of Astro Bot. I haven't seen anything of Star Wars Outlaws or Prince of Persia. I've only seen a little bit of Silent Hill 2, but I have literally sat side by side with somebody who's played Legend of Zelda, so that's kind of the difference maker that it makes for me in this category, as well as I'm just very intrigued to see how they do it from a Zelda point of view, not a Link point of view. I think it's a very unique take, because as far as I know, every Legend of Zelda game is Link based. I was very surprised to see this game come out with the Zelda POV. I've heard that the game is just 10 out of 10. Nintendo did a phenomenal job, and considering I've just recently bought the game, I'm hoping to play it and put some time in. Then we have Best RPG, Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII, Like a Dragon, and Metaphor. Haven't played any of the other games except for Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, so that gets my vote by default. But that's not to say that Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree is dog shit. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree is probably, it's up there for my for the best DLC I've ever played. I'm not bullshitting you when I say Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree could be a base game on its own. They could have released Elden Ring 2 and just made it Shadow of the Erdtree, and people would have gone, that could have been a DLC to Elden Ring. It's like, it could have been, but it's so good that it doesn't have to be. Next we have best fighting game, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I'm not really going to explain much on this because to me, it's a bit self-explanatory. The only other game that competes is Tekken 8. I love watching Tekken 8. I love watching Tekken 8, but I love watching and playing Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Something about Tekken doesn't sit well with me. Like, I'm really struggling to grasp the game, and I'm really struggling to get into it and kind of feel like I have not shit player. I'm really bad at fighting games. They're probably one of the games I'm worst at, but Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, like, it felt like the tutorial system in it felt great, and the game itself is phenomenal to watch. I love watching these matches. Now, I do wish that we saw characters other than Super Vegito, Super Saiyan 4, Gogeta, and like UI Goku, and we don't really see too much of other characters. However, the game is still phenomenal to play, and it really is just fantastic game to watch. It is my favorite fighting game of all time. Mortal Kombat 11 and Tekken 8 are tied for second. Next we have best family game. We have Astro Bot, Princess Peach Showtime, The Legends of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, The Plucky Squire, and Super Mario Party Jamboree. Astro Bot and The Legend of Zelda seem like a really good game. However, I don't think they're party or family games. Like, when I think of family game, I think of sitting down with like a kid, like my kid or someone else's kid, and like my significant other or like some of my friends or whatever, and playing the game together. Astro Bot and Legend of Zelda do not seem like those types of games. And then I have never heard of The Plucky Squire or Princess Peach Showtime until I started voting for the Game Awards. Actually, thanks to Vanoss, I started watching Super Mario Party Jamboree, and it looks really fun. It looks really, really good. I've been really like kind of addicted to watching Super Mario Party videos, and for those reasons, I'm gonna go and put Super Mario Party Jamboree's my best family game of the year. Next we have best sim and strategy. This is a category I could not vote for because I literally haven't played a single one of these games. The only thing I've heard is Mandalords is okay and Frostpunk is dog shit. Best sports and racing game. I'm gonna be honest, as someone who's played about 4 different iterations of FIFA and watched a couple different iterations of these of like NBA and NFL, the games borderline look the same, minus a little bit of a realism touch and the transfer updates. So I just gave it to, because I played football for I played for 11 to 13 years. And so for those reasons, I'm just going to give it to EA Sports FC 25. Next, you have best multiplayer. We have Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40K. So Helldivers, I haven't played any of these other than Tekken 8, Warhammer, and Black Ops 6, so I can't give Helldivers, Super Mario Party my votes, although Super Mario Party looks so fucking good. I cannot stress that enough. Tekken 8 and Warhammer 40K. Warhammer 40K is just a big arena shooter. There isn't much variety to it. It's just very basic, go in, have fun. Tekken 8, again, I'm dog shit at fighting games, but it seems really fun, and it looks and feels great. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 does something for me that Call of Duty hasn't done for me since like Black Ops Cold War or Black Ops 4, which is make me have fun. I don't have to try to have a good time. In all of the Modern Warfare titles recently, I've had to genuinely try to go out of my way and make the game fun for myself. And Black Ops 6, I feel like I can do anything I want and I'll have a fantastic time. I really do have a genuine good time on the game. Now, is that saying the game is perfect? Absolutely not. The game is nowhere near perfect, and there are going to be changes that I don't agree with throughout the entire year. I literally listed one of them earlier in the video. However, that doesn't mean that I'm not having a good time. I think Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is the best and most complete Call of Duty we've gotten in a very, very long time. And I'm really excited to see what they continue to do with zombies, because zombies is doing a phenomenal job of bringing the community back in, as well as multiplayer is finally feeling like it is an important part instead of Warzone. We have best adaptation. We have Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon, Yakuza, and Tomb Raider. I've heard of all of them except for Tomb Raider, and I haven't seen any of them. If you guys have any shows and anime you'd like to recommend, please let me know, because I have this big ass list of shit to go through. It's upside down. I want to add regular shows to that too, so I can kind of decide what I'm watching next. Yeah, I also need to do that with also my gaming backlog. But Knuckles, I've heard, is great. Fallout was good. Arcane is like the best show ever made, apparently. Like a Dragon is pretty fucking solid, and I'm really interested. I'm gonna go look up Tomb Raider after the video and see what people are saying. I hope it's good. It's got to be, because it's nominated, but I hope it's good. Next, as most anticipated game, we have Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yotei, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid 4 Beyond, and Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, Death Stranding 2 is a funny one because I don't think many people are talking about it. Same with Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. So that leaves me with Ghost of Yotei, Grand Theft Auto 6, and Monster Hunter Wild. Monster Hunter Wilds, I don't know much about, but a bunch of people that I talk to say it's gonna be really good. It is a really solid game. At least it looks like it will be, so they're hoping it'll be good. And Grand Theft Auto 6, I'm sorry, but this game has taken so long to come out. My expectations are shot. I don't know what to expect anymore. I don't know what I am hoping for. However, Ghost of Yotei, I've been recommended to play Ghost of Tsushima countless times, and I promised myself when I was done with the Dark Matter and Nebula grind, I would start getting into single player games back on the channel. I am playing the Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered campaign, but per every December with an agreement to myself, I will play one game that is at least like 4 or 5 years old that I missed out on. It's just kind of like my nostalgia month, and it's just kind of what I do. But Ghost of Yotei looks so good. I'm really excited to play it because I really want to play Ghost of Tsushima, and that's set in a similar universe. So really hoping it's going to be good. And the trailer just made me more excited than I should have been. Next we have Content Creator of the Year. It's Queso. If you don't know who Queso is, I'm not going to explain, but he's the GOAT. He's one of the GOATs of content creation without a doubt. Queso is my Content Creator of the Year. Next we have the best esports game. We have Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends Bang Bang, and Valorant. CS2 and Dota 2 don't keep me sucked in. I can watch them for a while, and I think they're cool. Mobile Legends Bang Bang, I've never heard of it. So that leaves Valorant and League. Valorant is a game that can keep me sucked in, but I'm not gonna lie. I fall asleep watching games like CS2 and Valorant. League of Legends, I don't know what it is about League, but whenever it's on, I will watch it. I'll get sucked in the whole time, and I will just go apeshit. League of Legends Worlds Tournament is the only tournament in history other than Call of Duty Champs where I ruin my sleep schedule willingly to watch this shit. And Champs happens in the Americas, so I don't have to ruin shit. So in reality, League of Legends is like the game that I ruin my sleep schedule for. I don't know what it is. I love watching this game. Next we have Best Esports Athlete, 33, Alexi B, Chovy, Faker, Zaiwu, and Kankan. 33 and Alexi B are from CS, I believe, so I don't really want to vote for them because I don't know too much about CS. At least Chovy, Faker, Zaiwu, and Kankan. Zaiwu's also from CS, so I don't want to give him my vote, unfortunately. Kankan is from Valorant, and he's an insane player. However, I just wasn't too much into Valorant this year. Faker is the GOAT. Faker is the GOAT of esports, period. And winning another Worlds Final and getting Worlds Final MVP on top of that, it's just Faker. Best esports team, we have Bilibili Gaming from League, Gen G from League, Navi from CS, T1 from League, and Team Liquid from Dota 2. Haven't watched too much Dota 2 and CS, so I can't give those my vote. And T1 winning Worlds, while Bilibili and Gen G had a phenomenal season. A phenomenal season. T1 winning Worlds when they shouldn't have even been there, playing the way they did. T1 and Faker. Just chef's kiss. Here it is, the player's voice. This is something that I did not get to vote on the first time. It says, which is your favorite game of the year? Player's voice is 100% fan voted award across 3 rounds. The winner will be announced on December 12th. So it is, I think it's currently December 10th. I have a day left, but I'm gonna go ahead and vote for everything now. We have Black Myth Wukong, Genshin Impact, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Wuthering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero. I heard a lot of people say that Genshin Impact shouldn't be on here, and Sonic X Shadow Generations should, but nevertheless, that's not on here. It's not what we're not gonna vote for that. We're gonna go ahead and vote for Black Myth Wukong. This is my game. This is, like, for me personally, my game. I love this game. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree is probably one of my favorite DLCs. It's not my favorite game of the year. My favorite game of the year is Black Myth Wukong. I fucking love this game. All right, and that's gonna be it for my game of the year Game Awards votes. Remember, Thursday at, I think it is like 7 p.m. Eastern time or something like that. I'm gonna have to look it up and then put a new thing on screen or some shit like that. Yes, Thursday the 12th is the Game Awards voting. Holy fucking shit, I am excited. I watch the Game Awards every year as of like 3 or 4 years ago, and I really just loved watching it. I get hyped for the trailers. I get hyped for the voting. I sit there and I try my best to record my live reactions of things. So if you guys want me to record my live reaction, then I'm more than welcome to do that. You guys just gotta let me know. But thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a thumbs up and let me know what you thought about the Game Awards. Let me know if you disagreed with any of my votes or what you would have voted for in place of anything else. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos in the future. Until next time, this is Dia signing off. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace, guys.